So the deal is I'll go ahead and this iPad, it's not mine, but they let me use it. I'm going to go ahead and record what I go over now, as well as the lectures, and I'll show you how you can have access to that if you want to. So it's a thought.
So, question.
Yes.
If you're going to be recording lectures, is this class going to be graded on attendance?
His question is, since I'm recording it, and you can get the playbacks anyway, do I grade on attendance? The only thing that attendance could get you is that I do give in-class quizzes, so you have to be here for those.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to kind of negotiate or let those points go off, nope. Yeah, that's the only thing attendance really affects. Other than, I'm a very auditory learner, so if I was paying for the class, I'd have to be here. But I know a lot of students take things online successfully. That's a whole other discussion. But I think that answered your question. I have a little stylus here. So here's my contact information on the syllabus. And I'm one of those teachers that if you're not going to be in class, let me know or whatever, especially if it's a long, I'm like, where are these people? Okay, and sometimes if you don't come to class, I encourage you to come to class because we'll miss you, okay? But if really something's kind of holding you up from coming to class, let me know. You will have access to the videos, after the fact on my Twitter feed, and I'll kind of show you where that is here in a minute. So if you want to get to my Twitter feed, you can either go through eCompanion. How many people have used eCompanion in here? Okay. This course has an eCompanion site, and one of the first things you'll see there actually it's the second column, will be the Twitter feed. But if you don't want to go through eCompanion, I just learned just recently that you can type in this address right here. That address right there, you don't even have to go through Twitter. It's just you're on a computer and you want to see what Mrs. Snipes put on the Twitter feed for this class. I don't know, actually I do know why, because my finger slipped. It's 161 instead of really 165, which you guys are. So just ignore that. Okay, you guys are really in PHS 165. But the Twitter feed, the last 3 numbers are 161. Okay, the cool thing about my Twitter feed, I think, I'm excited that I've evolved over the last 12 years I actually push out, like if something's due, I'll say blah, blah, blah is due Thursday. And so you're like, sometimes students say, well, Mrs. Snipes, what's due? I say, well, look at my Twitter feed. Okay, not to be rude. But the other Twitter feed there is just my general science Twitter feed. I'm into astronomy and meteorology and chemistry. So that's my science Twitter feed. All right. So go ahead.
Oh, so if we have a question, can we DM you on Twitter?
What's DM?
Direct message.
I think so. You can try it. No guarantees. If I can figure out how to respond to your DMs on Twitter,
all right.
I shall see.
I don't want to just slide in there and you not respond.
See, don't be embarrassed to follow me. I already got an audience.
I'm doing
Right?
it right now.
Sometimes students are like, it's so geeky, but hey.
Create a Twitter account.
What's that?
I said, I suppose I better create a Twitter account.
What the heck? Yeah, it's free. They know where you are anyway, so. So there are 3 segments to the evening course, and they begin at the bottom of the hour-ish. So I usually call them segment A, segment B, and segment C, beginning at 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30-ish. Okay, so, and we end about 8:20. So, like, oh my gosh, that's a long time. It'll go fast, I hope. Feel free if I'm lecturing and you're like, oh, I just got to get out of here. Well, walk around. Get up, walk around. Okay. So really, it'll be about 3 hours.
Do you take scheduled breaks in between?
Mm-hmm. So there's 10 minutes breaks. So
Between every 50 minutes?
right. So yeah, 50 minutes, 10 minutes break. 50 minutes, 10 minutes break.
Because isn't that a state scheduled thing now?
I don't know.
I think the learning attention span is to 45 minutes, but they.
Could be.
I
think it's a
state
health
law,
thing. I think we should get up and.
You
So.
jump in jacks.
Yeah. So I think it'll be okay. Now, you need a textbook. You will especially need the textbook to know what assignment questions are due. So that's a thought. Okay, course description. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so just kind of after course description, the outline, there is some exciting stuff in here. I think each unit is awesome, but that's just me, right? And you're here for a number of reasons. One is to get science credit, but hopefully you have an interest in weather. You know, it's kind of... Now, a lot of times students would rather take a class in weather that's just the severe weather, just the storms and I've actually looked into, and I'm looking into a textbook for just the severe weather. But until we kind of talk about some of the other stuff in Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3, the storms don't make as much sense. Okay, so it's a survey to weather. So we'll get there. Severe weather in Unit 4. Looking forward to people dying. Yes, that's right. Just kidding. Okay, so your assessment, actually, if you want to go back and forth, the last page of your syllabus kind of shows you where the points lie in this class and kind of how it divvies up. I mentioned the in-class quizzes, okay, and that would be the only thing that if you miss, there's no makeup quizzes. So that's 5 points there. You also have points in your chapter assignment questions. In fact, let me go ahead and give you out your Unit 1. Unit 1, as you can see in the syllabus, is 3 chapters. The first 3 chapters is Unit 1. So here are your chapters 1, 2, and 3 questions that you need to answer. So you can turn these in early, like I say later in my syllabus, but you can't turn your chapter questions in late. Only once we're done in lecture talking about a chapter, finish that chapter in lecture, will the questions be due. So sometimes I get eager beavers. I've had eager beavers who've gone and started to answer the questions, then they'll ask me questions about the questions, and I'm like, we didn't get to that topic yet. So I don't mind kind of discussing the questions, but if we didn't get to it yet, I don't know if that's really very fair. Okay, so quizzes, assignments, there'll be 4 unit exams, and I'll talk about the exams here in a minute. And there will be a final in May. Yay! The final's comprehensive, and then you have a project component. So that's kind of where the points are. So attendance, it's college, so I'm not going to call anybody's parents or anybody's loved one or anybody's children, say, hey, where's your mom or dad? But I would encourage you to come because, like I said, you'll be missed. Okay. Lecture etiquette. Let's see if I kind of put in there. It's just the normal. Kind of think of it, if you've had speech yet, kind of think of it, if you were up here trying to share something and somebody else was in a seat doing what you're doing, would that be kind of unnerving? So, I don't know. It's one way to think about it. So as far as etiquette goes, don't carry on a text conversation. You can check your phone. You can respond to a text. You know, that's life. But don't for 20 minutes go back and forth on your phone texting. So that sort of thing. And if you're feeling drowsy, I'm kind of serious about the calisthenics, you know. You know, do something to kind of keep yourself awake. It gets long. Feel free to stand up and walk around. But dozing is okay, but have you ever been in a class where the first thing a particular student does is put their head down on a desk? We're not doing that in here. Okay. Yeah, so that has happened to me before as a teacher, and so I kind of politely, if it happens a couple times, say, you know, find a couch, you know, find someplace comfortable. Okay, end of the chapter assignments. You already have the first 3 chapters because that's Unit 1. Next Thursday when we meet, I will look at the calendar and kind of see which Thursday we need to have our first test. So you'll know next Thursday kind of where that is. And I should post that to my Twitter feed, right? So we can all remember that important date. In-class quizzes, they are meant for everybody to get those points. So in-class quizzes, and we are going to have one at about 7:30-ish tonight. So You want to be here for that. Sir?
The tests and chapter tests and quizzes, just thinking long-term, I have some work-related issues that I'm gonna be gone for, I travel.
Okay.
And are those things that people can take prior
Yes.
or make up, or how do you handle that?
It's coming up here in a minute about, I don't give makeup tests,
Okay.
but I definitely give them early. Because, yeah, we know you have things scheduled, and so if you need to take it early, we have a Success Center down the hall, and that's open actually some evenings and during the day. So I'd leave your test there, but you need to take it early. It works pretty good, yeah. So we'll get back a little bit more to the test coming up. So let's deviate now, and I'm going to give you another handout for the course project. So you already know one thing you can do is take pictures, okay? So actually, in this that I give you, that's addendum 2. There's 3 addendums here, 1, 2, and 3. So with regard to the pictures, I'm looking for 10 weather events, okay? Actually, the sun shining is a weather event. Somehow the moon shining is a weather now. See that listed here. Clouds is a weather event. How many cloud types do we have? What do you think? I'll give you. How many people think
5 or 6?
close? A little more.
7, 8, 9, 10.
10. And I'm like, dude, really? And actually there are subgroups of those, but 10. It said that Walt Disney came up with his Disney characters by looking at clouds. Okay, so we'll talk more about the different clouds, but each cloud type, each of those 10 cloud types would be a unique picture. So I'm looking for 10 events, and they'll give you 10 different events because there's multiple types of clouds. Sometimes students who are doing clouds are like, oh my gosh, I have this beautiful cloud, but I don't know what it is. So you have 2 choices. You can either just guess, and I'll probably say, fine, I'll buy that. Or you can say, Mrs. Snipes, what kind of cloud do you think this is? Okay. The projects, whichever one you choose to do, they will be due next week. I'll tell you, they're not due next week. Next week I will tell you when they're due, okay? So we're all on the same page with that. But it's like 3 weeks before the semester's over. Okay, so you got a while. So I put a little bit more about the photos in there. So 10 events. Then the thing becomes, all right, I got these 10 pictures, and how do you want to see them? And I have had an assortment. Sometimes they're all digital, and so students are kind of familiar with PowerPoint, and they throw them on a PowerPoint slide presentation. That's fun. And it's also fun, I've had them printed out, and some teachers kind of scrapbooky will make me either a scrapbook or a poster. That's fun. I like looking at your pictures, okay? So I'm kind of wide open as to how you get them to me.
You use old pictures, or they have to be new?
That's a very good question. You can use old pictures. You have to, in fact, I don't have any sort of affidavit that they're your pictures, but they have to be your pictures. But you can use old pictures. I just love looking at people's, scenery pictures. So the thing about it, and this is in my addendum too, is with each event or each photo, you need to give 3 pieces of information. Let me pull up that addendum. And you can see you need to describe the event, what you're trying to describe there. You need to give the approximate location and proximate date. So we've been talking about pictures. We'll come back to the top first one. Okay. So here it says you need to give the name, the location, and the approximate date. Okay. So sometimes, and what I've thought of, I was talking to my husband about how can I make that students turn their stuff in early and all this. And one thing is if you want to run it past me before you officially turn it in, I will look at it and I will say, yes, that's 100 out of 100 points, or that would be 100 out of 100 points if you did thus and so. I'm cool with that. There's some sort of early bird special. I can't remember what he said. I'll have to ask him, what was that a good idea?
How you said you were recording the thing, are you just holding it off your iPad and pointing it at yourself right now?
No, this is a program that mirrors the laptop, okay? And also it has the audio recording here. It's called Doceri. So, and I can draw on it. So, yeah, no, it won't see me, thank goodness.
Okay, that's just what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Is it just-
No, but
So basically what you're gonna get here is you're gonna get what's on the screen and you're gonna get her voice. And
Yes.
potentially it picks up our voices in the background.
Yes, that is correct. You'll see, you'll have to watch the video, and you'll hear your voice if it, if you talk loud enough. Sir?
All right, I have a two-part question.
Mhm.
On this weather log here, does it have to be like consecutive days?
Okay, that's a good question. No. But if you start, so let's just kind of look at the weather log. And actually tonight here in a little bit, I'm going to break out, or can't decide if I want to do it now or later. But I would like to fill out Thursday, okay?
Oh, okay. You already answered my second question.
So my thing is, if you go ahead and start tonight, what you just need to do is go ahead and go down to the bottom Friday of week 3 and then loop back up to Monday, Tuesday,
Do you want us
Wednesday.
to write that we started on Thursday? Or
You
write
could-
right next to it or something?
You could draw like an arrow, start, whatever kind of makes sense to you, however you would convey that. But it needs to loop around. But to answer your question, once you get started, I really am looking for 5 days, and the weekend, 5 days. And the reason I don't include the weekend is to give y'all a break in case you're using the school internet. Okay? Let's go ahead and go out and fill in Thursday. So, I did this lecture yesterday, and I had a heck of a time finding all this information for one day. So just, what is your favorite, can I hear what your favorite places are to go on the internet to get your weather?
My weather app.
Your weather app?
AccuWeather.
AccuWeather, actually, that's
NOAA.
where I'm going, NOAA, that's a very good one.
Weather.com.
Weather.com, those are all good. And, but my problem came in getting the historic data, I guess, was the hardest. So
Underground does that?
yes, I ended up going to Weather Underground. You're very correct. In your syllabus, I go ahead and I name a few places to go. And Weather Underground's one of my favorite. There's weather.com, the Weather Channel, and weather.gov, which would be the NOAA or National Weather Service. Okay? But honestly, I'm going to go to AccuWeather because I practiced it. Okay? So, AccuWeather and put in a zip code looks like this. So let's go ahead and see if we can fill in those columns. Let me kind of go back. I'm going to go back to home. I'll go back to now. I guess it is now. That's okay. Nope, it's thinking. It's really slow tonight.
The internet's been really slow.
Yeah, that's too bad. Okay. I kind of wanted you to see in this particular website what you see first. But there are some great apps out there to get this information from. Okay. Okay, so it comes up like this. And to get most of the information, all you got to do in AccuWeather is to click on the current temperature. So let's look at what we're trying to fill in. Okay, so do you see the current temperature? What's the current temperature?
9 degrees.
Perfect. What's the next column? What is the dew point temperature? Can you guys read it?
29 degrees Fahrenheit.
29 degrees Fahrenheit. And as some of you know, what that means is what we need to do is go 10 more degrees Fahrenheit colder. And then honestly, the air is going to be saturated. Honestly, the air is something's going to happen. And since it's colder than 32, it's probably going to be frost or snow or something. Okay, so that 10 degrees is what we call our dew point depression. Okay, so that dew point temperature. Let's see. The next thing, what is the current humidity?
65%.
65. It's hard to see. I'm going with 65%. How about the barometric pressure? Oh, see, it used to have, I thought it, what, yeah, 30.07
See, these are
degrees.
different.
Yes, those are different. In fact, I about could have added a column, I think I used to have one, that says what your source is. It wouldn't hurt to go ahead and throw in the source.
I want to throw another curveball at you too.
Okay.
Just thinking you want a consecutive,
Yeah,
which is fine.
you can get midnight and,
Well,
1
my
1
question
a.m.
is, Monday and Tuesday of next week, I'm gonna be at St. Louis.
Okay,
Friday of next, I mean, do
J-
you
no.
want local or wherever, I mean, everybody's
Wherever.
from Keokuk here, so everybody can have Keokuk.
Sure.
I mean, does it matter?
No,
it's at?
wherever you
Okay,
are.
That's my,
In fact, you raise a good point. I'd like to amend I won't this semester, but add a column that says what's your location.
okay.
So, and if there's margins available or comments, if you want to say,
Because
you
mine
know.
could be all over.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so I would just go with, you do have the choice of going, what's the location back home, or what's my current location?
Right.
Okay, so barometric pressure, and we'll be talking more about pressure, is 30.07 inches, which is pretty high. Now, one of the things that's missing, I thought I saw it before, is tendency, that next column. Oh, let's see. Let me go see if it shows up. I think if I go to, but that'd be an hourly forecast, I want history. Direct.
You wanted to go to the hourly forecast?
Yeah, but the tendency is not a forecast, it's a current. I swear before it showed an arrow. All right, I didn't want to, but let me open up one more, the weather.com, I like that one too. In our slow internet. Weather.com, Keokuk. Oh, that's AccuWeather. That's going to be right where we're looking for. Well, we got everything except tendency and the wind speed and wind direction, but actually, did you guys see wind speed and wind direction when we were over here?
Yeah, I was going to so fast.
Okay, so if you want to fill in the columns after tendency, the wind speed is 9 miles per hour and the direction is,
West, southwest?
yeah, west-southwest. And let's see if weather.com came up. Still thinking, no? Okay. So there's Keokuk. Let's see if it gives us tendency. And these numbers are going to be different. Actually tonight in just a little bit, we're going to say, well, where did they get that data from? And honestly, airports. Actually, a cute little white set of hut with various weather measuring gizmos that sends it automatically. Okay, so yeah, we have slightly different, instead of 9 at 7, temperature is a little bit different. So let's look at current details, see if what they give for pressure and pressure tendency. Oh, finally. Okay, so the pressure is 80.08 inches. Is that what the other one said? Okay, now your choices for pressure are rising. What's this? Dropping, exactly. Pressure is dropping. Or what's this?
Steady.
Steady, exactly. Those are your three choices. Makes sense. And how many of you in your house or your grandparents' house, because old people have these, have one of these? Yeah, they're good. Okay, so this actually is measuring, it's pretty close right now, the 30.08 inches. And that's actually inches of mercury. We'll talk about how does inches of mercury give us air pressure. Pressure is air pressure, and I kind of go like this. Because as we're walking around here on Earth, we have a substantial atmosphere that has mostly nitrogen, some oxygen banging against you, okay? That is the air pressure. And that will fluctuate a little bit. And a little fluctuation in atmospheric pressure has big consequences. Okay, so about 30.08 inches and rising. So if the tendency is rising, and animals know this, okay, if the tendency is rising, in general, you can expect fair weather, fair skies, clear skies, okay? Dropping, not so clear skies, precipitation. Okay, steady, kind of what you got is what you're going to keep. So, pressure rising, which is already pretty high, but okay. So last thing, like somebody said, historic data, you would go to Weather Underground. That is where I went. In fact, you might see it up here. This tab right here is Weather Underground. At the top there, you probably can't see it very good, but it's weatherunderground.com/history. /history will get you what you need to get. So it doesn't seem, and there are apps that just tell you all that stuff. So why can't they do it on the internet? So I'll keep looking. But okay, so this is not the 18th. I was kind of playing around. Okay, so this would be historic data. Let's go back to today so we can kind of finish up those columns. I'll shrink this down. Maybe. You are evil. Okay, let's just not do that. Oh, I guess previous day. It's already there. Okay, so previous. We'll do it. Oh, we can just do it this way, can't we? So today is the 15th. So this is actually something you could go do ahead of time. There are probably other places you can get the historic high and low for a zip code for every day. And you could just go fill out yourself. So drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So there's how you fill in those columns. And notice that I don't have it, but do you think you should put the year? Yeah, I think you should put the year. Okay, so go ahead and put the temperature in the year. So in 1953, it was 61 degrees in Keokuk. And in 1979, it was -19. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the 61. Does that work for you guys? The last column, actually, you can fill out without looking at the internet. So what do you think? Nothing, yeah. Any questions about the weather log? Okay, it's just kind of, if you aren't already looking, it's just kind of to get you started thinking and looking.
That's all you have to do when you fill out the weather chart, just fill it out and that's it.
For each day though, but, yep, that's
So
it.
That's just one of the projects.
That's one of the projects. So now you've seen two, the photo project, the weather log project. Okay? There's two more. And my least favorite, you see me groan, because part of the reason I went into science is so I didn't have to do English. So my least favorite is the report, and that's addendum 3. Okay? I'll pull that one up here so we're kind of all in the same place. But this is a good place, you know, I don't want to be an English major. This is a good place for me to say, even though I'm not an English major, when you turn in your questions for the chapter assignments, you have to write incomplete sentences, unless I say so. Which you can look on the chapter assignments that I said, and like the first question in chapter 1, you don't have to use complete sentences, but otherwise you do. Now, this is not on the internet. Why is this so slow? Okay, but anyway, you guys already have it in front of you. So the written report, if you have a topic other than what's there, you can run it by me if you want. I do have access and will use, if I'm questioning the originality of your work. If you hand in a report, we've got a product called Turnitin.
Turnitin.com.
Yeah, and so teachers basically can see if that report you turned in is out there on the internet for sale. So don't do that. Okay, but I've seen some good reports too. Okay. Any questions about the report things? A lot of times students will be scrambling like the night before this is due putting together a report. Okay. But the ones that have their photos, I'm like, oh, those are so cool. Or that took some time to do the photo project too, or for the weather log.
So like say hypothetically if you want to do tropical storms, can you just focus on one tropical storm or does it just have to be?
I would think one tropical storm would be kind of fun, you know, to dive into and kind of pull out, yeah. I would suggest you avoid Wikipedia. Actually, I use Wikipedia here and there, but one year I just typed in, not in Wikipedia, but I Googled storms for this season, and Wikipedia had the storms already laid out that hadn't happened yet. And they had all the details, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah, avoid Wikipedia. But there can be some really good topics here. So my syllabus says if you do more than one project, you can actually earn 10 points, bonus points that will go for missed assignments. And I guess first missed quizzes, if you missed any quizzes, those 10 points.
And what happens if it goes past that? Does it just go extra credit?
And then, so let's say if you got all the points except for one missed quiz, which is 5 points, then you would have 5 points you could sell on eBay. Now, they don't have, if I don't have any place to put them, they'll just kind of hover in your account.
So,
Yeah, maybe if you took astronomy, they'd carry on over into the next course. Just kidding. But they don't go for exam points. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So one last thing, and I'm excited because they went ahead. Anybody in here been to spotter training before? What do you think? Did you get anything out of it, or?
No, it's not.
Okay, where did you go?
Webster County, back up Fort Agile.
Okay.
It's more of a beer drinking social audit for the fire department.
Okay. Well, the ones I've gone to have been really well attended by the community, and they've had Skywarn people there, and the ones I've gone to have just been outstanding.
This was for the volunteer fire department,
Okay.
and they made us all weather spotters, and woke us up at 3 in the morning with our pagers going off to go watch the weathers.
Ah, so you went out and chased tornadoes?
Not
and
really chased, just watching in
It
the
reported
fire
back.
district that I was a part of in the county.
Very good. Well, thank you for doing that, because what the spotter training, and I'm going to the website now, but what the National Weather Service people, and for us, was it Quad Cities that came down and did yours? Do you know?
Emergency management out of Webster County did it.
Oh, okay. The ones I've been to have been out of the Quad Cities. And they want people to go out and to be boots on the ground when there's bad weather in the area. And you don't have to see a tornado to report some very important facts back to the people who are issuing warnings and such.
I think it was, like I said, more of a social hour.
Yeah. The one, I've seen them already, it's gonna come up hopefully, but I posted on your Twitter feed, the dates for the ones, that, like, the ones I've attended. And there's one in Burlington on February 24th. It's a Tuesday, okay? So the website in the syllabus, they have gone ahead and loaded, the spotter training. They might add to it. Sometimes they add opportunities. Now, when you go to that link, it's gonna take you here, okay? And so you have to hit look for more. And if you hit look for more, you will see more. Okay? Did I? Okay. So I will be at the one, I think they may have added some. I'll be at the one on the 24th in Burlington. It's at Aldo Middle School. And so Donaldson's not too far. They used to have them in Keokuk, but I don't think recently they have. They've had them in Fort Madison, so I just keep checking back. I'll kind of scroll down so you can kind of see if there's anything, you know. This is showing till May 15th, so, well, let's click more. I don't think there is anymore. But sometimes they add opportunities. So you can see in my syllabus, to get credit for this, it's about 100 words, which is easy to write for attending. And it can be your impressions, it can be I won a door prize, it can be it was a waste of my time and I wish they would have not drank so much, okay? So it's kind of up to you. I'm just wanting kind of a confirmation that you attended in 100 words. Any questions about that?
Just so I understand, these 4 projects,
Yeah.
they're optional projects.
You have to do one because
One is
it's,
required.
right,
Okay.
it's, I think,
I probably could have found it.
yeah, is it like 15% of your grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one project is required.
One project is required, and it's gonna be due about the 4th Thursday before your final, so I'll kind of give you that, yeah. Any other questions?
Are Are they all graded the same, or is one worth more points than the other?
They're all graded the same.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm not too picky other than the written requirements, like the photos you need to for each event, you know, give me those 3 pieces of information. So I'm not otherwise real picky. And I'll read your reports and I'll go, ooh, that's cool, but I'm not an English major.
Are you on the weather log? I know you can go onto websites and it'll say the past history on all these things. Are you, like, if I wanted to go home tonight and go 15 different days in the past, do I put the date and then the
That's-
time that I did it?
Yeah.
Fill out all the information?
I would say the only time that seems right to me to go past,
As if I forgot a day.
yeah, as if you forgot a day, yeah. I definitely would not go back in time before this class started, because then I'm like, dude, you really went back in time. But you raise a very good point, and I encourage students, if you miss a day here or there, sometimes students are like, oh, I got to start over. I'm like, no. There are places, and Weather Underground has a lot of historic data.
14 days, you missed one, start the whole thing
Yeah,
over.
no, don't do that. But, you know, try to keep up with it, with the current conditions. That's a good question. Any other questions? Very good. Okay, on to exams. Everybody loves exams. So in my years of teaching, I finally went from all multiple choice to all exams will have a multiple choice section. And then they'll have a vocab section, and then they'll have a section of like short answer. Because I found that a lot of times those multiple choice questions are terribly difficult, you know, and I don't do them on purpose, but if I made them too easy, it'd be like cheesy, okay? So now the thing about my exams, so that each of them have 3 sections, the other thing is you get to bring a note card. How do I have size, 4x6? Yeah. So a 4x6 note card. If you don't have note cards, you can have a piece of paper that's that dimension, front and back, with notes to help you. So.
Bring 3D glasses and put one in blue and one in red.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Ellen's face.
Don't know. But the thing about the exams is they'll all be during segment A. So remember, each night has segment A, B, and C. So segment A, you'll come in, take your test, go get a beer. No, you don't have time to go get a beer. But then come back for segment B and segment C. So, no. So that's kind of the pace of the exams. The other thing about exams, and I think it works quite well, is I will give you a review sheet ahead of time, like the week before your test. Is it the week? Yeah, it has to be the week before your test. A little bit before the week before your test. I will make available to you and bring it that Thursday to give to you a review. And basically, I've gone through the test and kind of given key words as to the topics you're going to see on your test. I don't say if it's going to be a multiple choice question or vocab. So those are things you need to kind of focus on for your note card. The other thing I do is that, and it's kind of fun, is I have a review session. And I think we'll do it like the week before your test. So you'll come early. It's either 4 or 4:30, haven't decided. And we'll actually go through the review sheet, and I'll give you hints about that. And I will video record that, so if you're not there for the review session, you still have access to it. And I know, the longer you're here, the more you pile on as a teacher. If you come to one of my review sessions, you get 10 extra credit points just for coming early to a review
Do they
session.
count them as extra credit points, or do they only carry on to like missing assignments?
They would count your best bounce for your buck or whatever is if you missed a quiz, they'll go there.
Okay, I was just wondering if you could get
And
higher
then
than
they'll go to
100%
list.
in the class, because I've had college classes before where, like my twin sister, she's brilliant, so she got 120% in some of her
Yeah.
college classes.
I think though
So-
you could, it wouldn't show up in the grade book, but you could get more than 100%, but it still would it wouldn't go in the grade book like that. So.
Okay, so your ending
I would
grade
max
in this
out.
class can only be a 4.0.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah. But, you know, it's very doable, but,
I don't mean to complain,
okay.
but for us non-typical students who are not able to come in and get that bonus points,
Okay.
are you going to make available other options to gain those bonus points that we're not able to make up?
Oh, you raise a good point.
And I say that, I don't know who else is near has jobs or works,
Yeah,
but I build
Sure.
my schedule
I just sleep.
for my college class from 5:30 to 8:30.
cool.
And now everybody else is getting an opportunity to get bonus points.
Oh, so
for
you couldn't-
4:30. For me
Oh,
to come in at 4:30 is impossible.
now that one's an easy fix. Okay,
I'm
for
just
that,
saying that
no,
to
but
make it a even
I
playing field for
appreciate
everybody in
that,
class.
because I wasn't even thinking along those lines. What I have in the past and would definitely do it this semester would be to offer a review session after class as well.
Fair enough,
Thank you.
fair enough.
So for that, the Thursday before the test, there'll be a review before and after.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I've definitely done that, because I've had similar.
That'll work.
Anything else? Because those, just coming to review and getting some extra slosh points, those are kind of nice if you're like, oh, I can't get that assignment in, or, I can't be here for a quiz. Those are nice.
In your review session, is that only for the final, or is that for every unit? I might have missed that.
That, for every unit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I said, but it's for every unit. Yeah, so it's all good. It's kind of a look back at the unit and get ready for the test sort of thing. Okay, so here in this paragraph under unit exams, I describe if you miss a test, okay, remember you can take it early, and I can definitely make those arrangements. But if the time has come and gone for you to take the test and you didn't take it, then I don't like putting zeros in the grade book, because I'm going to tell you that even though you can't retake that test, what I'm going to do is what you earn on your final, I'm going to substitute in for that missed unit exam. And there's good news. The final exam, okay, a lot of times students do really well in the final, because even though it's comprehensive, you're like, oh my gosh. But most of the final exam, I have lifted questions from the 4 unit exams and put them on a final. Okay. So you're like, why do you say most, right? Well, there is a 5th unit of material here, and you're going to see a smattering of questions on your comprehensive final that you've never seen before over those chapters. Okay, and I'll give you a unit review sheet for Unit 5, and we'll go over it for a review.
How big is Unit 5 compared to the other 4? Is it the same size? or-
No, it's can't remember. It does, yeah, I chose it because it's kind of a tail end of stuff. It doesn't really take much. Let me
So it
double
kind
check.
of brings it all in together.
No, we talk about air pollution, okay, and probably, I'm going to tell you when we get there, but instead of 13, 14, 15, it'll probably just be 13, 14. I usually don't include climates. So, that's a good question. Then they're shorter. Any other questions? So far, so good? Okay. What are we doing for time? 4:20 or 4:15. Okay. eCompanion. I know y'all said that most of you have used eCompanion, so let's take a quick look at what the eCompanion site for this looks like. In case you haven't gone to eCompanion much or whatever, my favorite way to get to it, eCompanion, is actually through the SEC website. If if you've logged on to an SEC computer, it already knows your person and your ID. So if that's the case, like is the case with me with this computer, when I go to HawkNet, it's going to say, all right, Elizabeth, there's your stuff. HawkNet is great. HawkNet's a place for you to get to eCompanion. HawkNet's a place for you to get your email. Okay? When it finally comes up. So you're going to click the Online Classes button to get to your eCompanion site. Now, my eCompanion is going to look different than yours because I'm the author, so
You'll have to click.
I think it's not thinking, is it? I think you're right. It's dead. Okay. Okay. So, down here you guys are. Okay, so this is where a teacher can put announcements and such. So there are actually 4 columns. The second column is your Twitter feed, but the first column is the Twitter feed for your cousins who are taking the same class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Come on. Move down. You are evil. Okay. So in a minute, this is going to hopefully go down. Well, no kidding, not responding. So this one right here is you guys. Okay, and so tonight's 3 segments, the videos will pop up. Sometimes it takes me, 12, 24 hours to get them there. This one are YouTube videos that I think are cool and relevant to the class. And then the 4th column over here is that science Twitter feed. Okay, so miscellaneous science stuff. So let's see if it will let me go here. So aside from having access to your Twitter feed, probably even more important, and we're gonna take a break here in a minute, but probably more important is your ability to get what I call the partial slides. So I've gone ahead, where my mouse is, that's what I'm gonna give you. I use PowerPoint for my lectures, and I'm one of those who takes a word out here or there, so these have words missing. It's a game. Let's keep you awake, right? So I would, this is the only chapter I'm going to give you. You're welcome. So you need to print these out, print out chapter 2 for next time. And as SCC students, you guys already have like a printing budget? You guys knew that? Okay.
Yes, $40 a semester.
$40?
Really?
Yeah, so down there, and somebody, I can show you, or somebody else can show you the computer lab.
I think it's what, 10 cents a page?
Yeah, something like that.
10 cents per print, I believe.
That you have to pay?
No, you already have $40 in your budget.
Really?
You don't get it back.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. Didn't know
And
that.
it refreshes every semester, but if you use that $40, then I think you have to add money to it if you need to print from the school more often. But I have a printer, so I don't have to worry about it.
So I'll just expensive for business.
What's that?
I'll just business expensive.
Oh, okay, that works too. But I really would print these out, okay? Also, under doc sharing, I put other things, like under the root doc sharing, you'll see my schedule here, I don't see the syllabus, but I'm going to throw the syllabus up there. The projects document I gave you. That first document there is if you like want an extra 3-week weather log, that will get you one. Okay. Sometimes you guys haven't asked it yet, but sometimes students ask, well, what if I want to do this 3-week weather log twice? Can you do that? Yes, you can do that. That's a lot of recording, but okay.
But really, it only takes about 10, 15 minutes a day to do.
Yeah.
It's not that much work.
Yeah, and usually we look at the weather anyway. So you just want to, I was a little awkward at finding all the stuff, but once you do it, you'll be like, I know where to get that stuff. So,
So do you get your extra points even though you do the same thing?
yes. Yeah, they would be separate projects. Yep. Okay, so there's where your points are. 5% with your quizzes, 20% for the chapter assignments. So there'll be 14 or 15 chapter assignments. I will drop at least one, okay? Just because I will. Makes my life easier when your life falls apart to drop one. Your project, 15%. Unit exams, each 10%. And your comprehensive final, 1/5, 20%. Okay? Just one last thing I will give you. Not that one. We did that one. So the powers to be want us, the teachers, to give you some important information. And so here on one sheet is some important information. Some important dates. Now, there's information about school closing and stuff. So here's where I need to tell you that I actually, thank you, live in Burlington, so, if the roads are really terrible, be sure to check the teacher absent thing, okay? But I'm pretty brave, but not stupid. And you shouldn't be either. If the roads are, they've been pretty good, I think, if the roads are bad, and you don't want to risk it, don't risk it, okay? And hopefully we aren't having a test that night.
When will you make a decision if you cancel your class? Does the college have you a certain time requirement there?
For teachers, and actually, it would not be me canceling the class per se, it would be me calling in that I'm unavailable to risk my life to get here. But with that said, Thursday, I have actually a lab from 2 to 4, or from 1 to 3, 1 to 3.
Here in?
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm here anyway,
Okay, good.
but, you know, if they're calling for
I
like,
drive an hour to get here, so that's why I'm asking.
okay. I will consult with my husband if the time comes, and I'm trying to decide, so if my class is over at 3, I probably would know by about 4. And I'm glad you said something, because it's really easy for me to email everybody. So that's, and I'll post on my Twitter feed.
Good.
But I would do you get SEC email? Okay. Let me know, leave me your phone number if you want me to text you. I've done that before too.
Yeah, text or just an email to
Okay,
my
give me my,
regular email is fine.
right, but I don't need that contact
For some reason,
information.
I can't log in. And maybe one of you tech junkies know how to do it, but I've been told I can forward the college email to my regular email and tie it
Oh.
together, so my college email comes to my phone too, instead of having to go online and go through it all. Anybody know how to do that?
You
Guess
could
not.
probably add an app on your phone to get the isn't it, what is it, Outlook?
Yeah, it's Outlook.
I think you can probably look on the phone, yeah.
An iPhone. And see, I have 3 email, actually I have 3 email accounts already set up coming to my phone. I just don't know how to add the college one, so.
You could probably do it.
If somebody knows how to do it and figures it out by next class, I'll buy a pizza.
There you go.
I got some work to do.
If I get it done right now, you can order a pizza.
So-
I sure will.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You're the real MVP.
But the other thing is, I'd be glad to give you my contact information, or you can, what's that thing you can do on Twitter? PM? DM.
As long as you tweet it, I'm on Twitter more than I am on SEC.
Okay,
so.
yeah, I definitely just send something out there. I'll try to cover all my bases if, in the unlikely event that happens. But, yeah, but definitely, be careful out there. Any other questions? Well, let's take a 10-minute break and come back on Wednesday. Ha ha. See, you get it.